The best travel itinerary for Washington. Washington is the capital of the U.S. and is one of the top cities to visit in the world. There's a lot to see and do in the city, so to help you make the most of your trip, here is our suggested itinerary for 4 days. Day 1. Visit Anacostia. The principal sites, the ones you have to see in order to lay claim to having visited Anacostia, are the Smithsonian Museum, the Frederick Douglass House, and, of course, the Big Chair. The two museums are small but excellent, and the latter attraction is a good photo op. The Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens are a destination in their own right and merit a visit during the summer, even if you are otherwise uninterested in visiting Anacostia. Anacostia Museum, the Smithsonian's least visited museum, far from the mall, is a small but superbly exhibited tribute to Anacostia and D.C. east of the river, and also to African American history. The Big Chair is Anacostia's most recognized landmark, and it sits right in downtown Anacostia on Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue. It was erected in 1959 as an advertisement for the now-closed Curtis Brothers furniture store across the street, and at the time of its creation, it was reputed to be the largest chair in the world, 5.9 meters high and weighed 2,100 kilograms. Fort Stanton was the first of dozens in the Fort Circle designed to protect the Capitol from Confederate attacks during the Civil War. All that remains is a historic marker. But the real attraction is the superb view of the Capitol from this high, grassy hill behind the church parking lot. Frederick Douglass's house in D.C., in addition to the small museum and gift shop, you may visit the house, but only on a tour. The Honfleur Gallery has 1 foot in the world of international contemporary art and 1 foot in Anacostia. The world inside, with its large, beautiful space stocked with a surround sound system and flat-screen TVs, looks like it would be more at home in Manhattan than Anacostia. Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens, the only aquatic gardens managed by the National Park Service in the country, is a marvelous off-the-beaten-path destination in D.C. The Kenilworth Marsh is all that remains of the vast marshlands that once covered the riverbanks of the Anacostia, and is the only place where you can really imagine the district before it became America's capital. The prime attraction are the cultivated ponds full of water lilies, but it's also a worthy destination for the riverfront trail, greenhouses, and birdwatching. Day 2 and Day 3. Visit National Mall at your own pace. There's a lot to see on the mall. You can walk the whole mall on an afternoon to admire the sights and monuments, but note that it is bigger than it looks, over 2 miles end to end, an illusion that is reinforced by the sheer size of the Capitol Building, Washington Monument, and Lincoln Memorial. Moreover, you will want to budget some good time to visit the museums. Even a month's visit would not be enough to really devour all the Smithsonian's collections, so pick and choose according to your interests. The Smithsonian is a complex of 19 large museums, the majority of which are on the east end of the mall, all of which are free and are open every day except Christmas. Visit the National Gallery of Art. The staggering depth and breadth of the world-class collections here are a clear testament to U.S. wealth and power. The east building of this museum is devoted to modern art, while the west building showcases traditional, mostly European paintings and sculptures. Go to the National Museum of Natural History. The real showstoppers here are the gargantuan complete dinosaur fossils, and you won't have to search to find them. Further into the museum, you'll find displays of world cultures, meteorites, mineral samples, and the evolution of life from beginnings to today. National Air and Space Museum, the most visited museum in the U.S. with over 8 million visitors per year, this impressive repository covers the history of human flight, rocketry, and spaceflight. It contains thousands of impressive artifacts. Visit the Hirshhorn Museum and Sculpture Garden, home to D.C.'s premier collection of international modern and contemporary art, housed in an intimidating, brutalist spaceship of a building. The exhibits are wonderfully stimulating and cutting-edge, albeit often not made accessible to casual viewers. See the Smithsonian Castle. This distinctive brick-red structure was the original Smithsonian Museum. The building now presents an overview of the Smithsonian system, as well as occasional exhibitions. Just south of the castle, the beautiful Haupt Garden features an ornate parterre as well as some quieter enclaves. It is a great place to stop to rest or eat. Visit the Washington Monument. No man looms larger over American history than the first president, and no monument looms larger over D.C. than this. Both the world's tallest stone structure and its tallest obelisk. When completed in 1884, it was the world's tallest structure and remains the tallest building by far in D.C. Viewed from either end of the mall, its size may not be evident, but enter the enormous square on which it stands, and you'll realize just how monumental it is. Visit National World War II Memorial. The World War II was the defining event of the 20th century, in which 16 million U.S. soldiers served, and 400,000 died. The enormity of the war is hard to grasp in one's mind, and the architect aimed to convey that enormity in this central memorial. See the reflecting pool. The view from the Lincoln Memorial, with the 2,000 feet reflecting pool in the foreground and the Washington Monument just behind, and the Capitol building in the distance, is famous and not to be missed. See the Lincoln Memorial. Most of the D.C. memorials, especially those for U.S. leaders, are meant to awe and impress in a very direct manner. None more so than this impressive monument in a commanding location at the end of the mall. Modeled after the Greek temple of Zeus, Lincoln sits with a commanding presence overlooking the reflecting pool, straight across the mall to the Washington Monument, and beyond it, the Capitol building. Few monuments in the world can match the simple power of the Lincoln Memorial at night. Day 4. Visit the Capitol Hill. The main attractions on Capitol Hill are all concentrated in the U.S. Capitol complex, grounds managed by the architect of the Capitol, covering roughly the 3 blocks east of the National Mall. These include the Capitol building and its grounds, as well as the U.S. Supreme Court, Library of Congress, and congressional office buildings. The center of the legislative branch of America is home to the House of Representatives and the Senate, as well as numerous impressive paintings, statues, historical exhibits, and one magnificent dome. The Visitor Center features an exhibition of the history of the Capitol and of Congress. Tours of the Capitol building are free and can be arranged online or by same-day walk-in and start from the Visitor Center. Founded by the 3rd U.S. President Thomas Jefferson, the Library of Congress, also called the Jefferson Library, has the largest collection of books in the world. The home of the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, charged with interpreting the Constitution and protecting equality and justice for all. Visit the United States Botanic Garden. The botanical collection is extensive, the climate is often a welcome respite, and the catwalk through the leaf canopy in the Jungle Room is a favorite. Visit some famous Capitol grounds monuments. Statue of Freedom. A classical female figure stands prominently atop the Capitol building's dome. Peace Monument. A monument in memorial of U.S. naval deaths at sea during the Civil War stands at the northeastern end of the Capitol reflecting pool, bearing an assembly of 4 statues. Robert Taft Memorial and Carillon. Grandson of the 27th President William Howard Taft, Senator Robert Taft had a distinguished career of his own in the United States Senate. Ulysses S. Grant Memorial. Grant's monument occupies the single most prominent location on the Capitol grounds, directly over the reflecting pool. Also visit the Union Station. Not just a train station or metro stop, the grandiose 1908 Beaux-Arts building by legendary American architect Daniel Burnham makes it worth a look. The ceremonial entrance is stunning. Open long after the museum's close, it contains shops and restaurants. A large monument to Christopher Columbus stands outside the building. Now you know all the best places to visit in Washington. Enjoy your time in Washington. Thanks for watching.